Hello.
Hello. It's Friday, everyone. Thank fuck it's Friday. That's the way I feel this week. It's just been such a long week, and now I'm really glad that it's now Friday. So hi Nigel, how you doing? So tonight, guys, we are talking about Pareidolia. I can say it. I'm so proud. Woohoo! Hey Eric. Oh wow, North Pole. So what I need to do, guys, is I need to jump out for a bit, just shortly. So I'll leave you with the boys, and then I will be back. But I actually find this subject really interesting, to be honest, because it's sort of a grey area in the paranormal, but it's no. Because a lot of people get quite offended when they put pictures up, and people point out it's pareidolia, and a lot of people then become butthurt, and that's how it's almost a grey area. But I would rather somebody told me if my pictures were pareidolia.
Yeah.
I think a lot of pareidolia is driven by the wanting to believe, the wanting to see something.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of the times it is pareidolia. But there's believers out there that believes, and they don't see anything else but pareidolia, unfortunately, and they think it's real. These are the people that do get offended, which, sorry, but pareidolia.
Yeah, very true. I've probably dismissed more as pareidolia that could have been legit. So you know, it's one of those ones where you put them to the side. Okay, it could be, so I'll just put it to the side.
Yeah.
But
if it's great to me, I've got a great belief in my own ability in that respect. So it has to be coupled a lot of the time. It depends on the distance.
Yes.
Because even the best psychic can only pick up on spirit at a certain distance, in a certain area. It has to be confined. If it's any further, for me personally, if it's any further away than, say, 50 feet, it's a grey area, and I'll put it down to could be, might not be, could be. Anything other than that, for me, if it's not moving, it's pareidolia.
Do you know what I was always taught? I was always told, see, to debunk pareidolia, see if you take more than one picture of the same plate, of the same bit of a room, and if the same picture comes up, then that is your real. But if you take a picture and the first picture shows something, but the second, third, fourth, fifth picture doesn't, then you've got a case of pareidolia.
Sometimes, more often than not, if you're in a confined space, if you're indoors, for example, that has more truth in it than anything else. But when you're outside, there's a lot of outside influences that can change a picture. Cars, starlight, clouds moving, as daft as it sounds on a full moon. It can always change from one picture to another. So, yeah, to some extent I could do that, and I do use that. Take more than one picture anyway, no matter what, because you can get spirit on one picture and not on another. Definitely.
Yeah.
Eric says that's why I do a lot of debunking, which way the light reflects or which shining's making a shadow.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, outside as well, you've got foliage, you know, any bushes, trees, plants, or anything like that and even brickwork.
Yeah.
And produce faces, images.
Hey, Roger. But as well, if you think about it, you can get pareidolia. When you're looking at the sky, because you make shadows out of clouds.
Yes.
You make things out of clouds. There's a flower. I don't know. Whatever you see in the sky.
It just shows the human brain and what we do. Our brains work the same way as the copy, the mimic piece of equipment, the SLR. That's a very basic form of it. It can only make stick figures. So it will latch onto anything that resembles the human shape, which again for me shows that it's just an app, because how can that be real? You know what I mean? We're talking about spirits here. We're not talking about the human form.
Yeah.
So that to me is not a very good piece of equipment, but it does the same thing very basically as what our brains and our eyes do. We try to make sense of what we're looking at.
Yeah.
This is why the basic form of pareidolia is to look at a curtain. If you want to learn how to use pareidolia, just sit and look at a pattern curtain. The amount of faces you will find in that, because that is what the human brain does. It tries to find,
or even on textured tile floors.
Yes, yeah. So it's a good form, but then you've got to decipher it. And this is where people fall down flat on the face, because they don't. They see things at face value, their own face value, rather than everybody else's. Because you can show somebody, like you say, a picture and you think it's quite compelling, but you will get 100 different answers. They see something totally different to what you see, and you think, what? How the hell can you see that?
Yeah. It's almost like, see when they do, when in psychology, when they show you the picture, the painted picture, and they say to you, you know, what do you see in this? And it's amazing. I did that experiment when I did my counselling course, and our lecturer showed us 10 pictures, and it was amazing the different. It's amazing the different answers that people were given. Like when they were looking at that picture, and you sit there, and when you hear the different answers, you kind of say to yourself, really? And you tilt your head side to side to kind of see, does it change when I look at it a different way?
Yeah, generally with a photo that has a spirit image in it, generally, if it's legit, then you will get a percentage of people will say exactly the same thing. Whereas with pareidolia, it's more random.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
I've captured it. Go on.
Even patterns in the wood can look like faces.
Yeah,
William says
I had that in a picture once. I took a picture in it was an old barn, and it was so convincing. This face, it was a perfect woman's face, and it wasn't. It was just a grain in the wood.
Oh, for God's sake!
It looked so real. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I heard William said about. I heard pareidolia links to Parkinson's disease. I didn't know that, or so I read. Don't know if that's really true though.
There is actually 2 or 3 different eye diseases actually that can cause things like that. I forgot the name of it, but my sister suffers with one of them, and she's had to train her brain to stop looking at him, because, and it's a disease in the brain that transmits through the eyes, and there's a few, and it shows traits as well. This is why shrinks back in day used to do ink blot. And that's what I said, Lewis. It's okay, we'll not tell them. But that ink blot challenge, and the reason why shrinks used to use that is to find out not exactly whether somebody was seeing things, but to gain an insight into someone's personality. Because as you just rightly pointed out, most women in most ink blots will see butterflies, but men don't. They see something else. I can't remember what it is now offhand. It's based on something else. So out of 10 pictures that this shrink's got, he will show you a picture and he roughly knows what you're going to say. If you've got a standard personality. Now, if you've got a personality disorder, he also knows 10 things that you're going to say it is. And just by gaining what out of the 10 pictures you will come back with, he knows what degree of an illness you've got. That's the reasoning behind ink blots. And it's a form of pareidolia.
Hey, Robert. Hey, Lauren. Long time no see. I hope you're well, sweetheart. Always thinking of you.
Yep. Long time no see.
Always worry, Lauren, when the demon's thinking about you.
Shut up, you cheeky. William says this is where proper training comes into imaginary.
It does, yeah. And I do that. I'm quite, what's the word? I tend to stand back, and what I actually see, I'll question. And I'll ask questions to other people and see if they correspond. And come along same lines as me, and if they don't, which a lot of times they actually don't, they come up with something totally different, and I'm thinking, nah, I don't see that whatsoever. So then you've got to ask yourself, are they bonkers or me?
That's true. But I suppose, see, if you look at it, pareidolia and power of suggestion are really closely linked, because if you're desperate in your mind to get this piece of evidence that's going to blow the paranormal world out the water, then your mind's going to play tricks and say, oh, there it is. You go into a Facebook group, you take your evidence into a Facebook group, and you're going to get laughed at. But then again, you could have the best evidence in the world with the best will, and you'd still get laughed at.
And it just turned out to be a wee cloud.
Yeah. There's a lot, what they call it, there's a word for it, Ian. Well, a saying for it. It happens a lot into UFO community, where one person says something and then the full town will come out in support. And half time, there's a lot of them haven't even seen anything. They've just heard something via internet, via radio, via TV, whatever. And there's been cases where a full town swear to God that they've seen a UFO and AFON. They haven't even been out of the house.
Yeah.
It's what do they call it now? Is it?
Hey, Sarah Louise.
I Sarah.
It's heard something, isn't it? Heard.
Yeah.
See, this is why you need Mark and Wayne in the comments, because there's usually
they know this one, but
Lauren was asking, how was everyone's Valentine's Day? It was actually good. Me and my partner sat and we had a movie night. Now, Bri. We sat and had a movie night, so it was really, really good. I did enjoy it. I watched
Titanic.
Star. Yeah. Would I fuck? I don't like the sick movies. That.
On Valentine's Day, would you fuck? Yeah, probably.
Shut up, cheeky monkey. Red or black ink, well. Just depending, William.
Colours.
What about you guys? What did you do for your Valentine's Day?
My wife was at work, so.
Oh.
Don't be asking me, because you know I'm single, so cut off.
Listen, you can still have a good Valentine's Day, even if you are single.
Well, I didn't.
He got a big cat in his life, didn't you?
Yeah,
he did get a big cat in his life.
There you go.
No, nothing. I didn't do anything. I just, buried my face.
No, my real.
That was it. But I wished everybody else happy Valentine's.
I know you did, you sweet, sweet person. I did see that, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, it's one of those ones that you've got to watch. Pareidolia, especially if you're going to be putting pictures up. Bri, you can always do something for yourself on Valentine's Day. That is true self-care.
Yeah.
Listen, no, look, I'm not even going to go there. I've got enough blisters.
Oh, honey. Oh, you're some man. But yes, it is a really interesting one. Right, guys, I'll be back in a bit, but I'll put up the comments for yous.
Okay.
So I will be back soon, everyone.
Enjoy your McDonald's.
McDonald's. Isn't it McDonald's, you cheeky bass? Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Pareidolia. There's a few related things as well to Pareidolia.
You got audio pareidolia as well.
Yes. Yeah, and again, this is another reason why I'm not a fan of apps. Because they just chuck random words out. But as soon as a word comes out that suits your situation and your surroundings, people jump on it. Oh, it just said, but it said about 50 other words.
Yeah, I mean, a well-known TV show, which I won't have to mention the name of, but they had a voice come through the spirit box, and automatically someone goes, "That's a demon, that's a demon," when it actually said Aaron.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I've heard that word for a few times over the last few days. So it seems to be popping its head up. That could be a rabbit hole that we're going down as well, because it needs to be cleared up, this, because devils and demons, they are not ancient, as a lot of people would have you believe. They're only as old as the Bible, and it was only through religion that these opposing figures appeared. and a lot of it's hearsay. A lot of it is just people trying to steer you away from any other religion and into theirs. So devils and demons, where did they come from? You know what I mean?
Down south, I think.
You see, I believe that there's an higher case beings and there's lowercase beings, and there's us in the middle. But are the devils and demons?
They're obsessed by demons. If there's as many as they make out there is, we're in serious shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just an alternative. I believe it's an alternative. And again, it's the human brain trying to make sense of things, basically.
Yeah, I mean, most of what we come across that TV shows would jump at demonic is actually angry, confused, or lost.
Yeah. Or lack of another explanation.
They've been trying to talk to people for goodness knows how long. No one's ever responded, and they get frustrated. So they start acting up.
Yeah.
And then
like I said,
the energy in the room changes, and then, it's a demon. No, it bloody well ain't.
Well, it's a lower being. Let's put it that way. That's how I'd like to explain them.
It's a negative energy, but it's negative because it's angry and confused.
Yeah, probably because
it's a whole different ball game.
And they do get. Okay, again, it's a good explanation, I suppose. It is a word, at least, that puts things into a category. Because let's look at, is it Lord of the Rings? With Gollum, when he's just a normal little hobbit, and he turns into something so vile through obsession. It's a good way of explaining things, but in afterlife they can actually change shape and they can look horrible, and the personalities are dark.
It's a bit like Lois, when she doesn't get her eye brew, isn't it?
Yeah. She changes from Ginge.
Mr. Barrow, I can still hear you.
So yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's just a lot of our problem as human beings is we've made things too complicated for his own good.
He's got a new one.
I've got another one. I'll pop over and see you, Angie. I've got another one. Yeah, it's a jag. Woohoo!
He will take you out in style.
Yeah. I had to. I couldn't read. Well, other one weren't running, and it's why pay for something that's stick on your garden? You know what I mean? So,
yeah. Well, it's basically a shed.
Yeah, exactly. I could use it. I've got plenty of rubble to put in it. But yeah, I've got another one.
Oh, look at that, mate! Salted.
Oof. I'll let you know.
New car and a chicken casserole.
I know.
That's you sorted.
I'll let you know. I've got to go to hospital. I've got an hospital appointment tomorrow at 1:45. Got to have my eyes looked at again. I'll let you know. I've just said I'll let you know, you beggar.
You've been told.
Depends how long I'm up at bloody hospital, doesn't it? I only went up last week, and I'm changing subject. I know it's not pareidolia or paranormal, but yeah, I only went to hospital. I'll just think about it. So I'm back in. Yeah.
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 Very true.
This is what I'm saying. There's loads. I did my own thing.
They're supposed to be the lower demons, aren't they? They're like. But yeah.
I did that a few days ago, and they found something, so I've got to have a battery of tests. Don't rain, but it pours, does it? But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I did a not a map, but a chart, and I put us in the middle, human beings in the middle, and then I went upwards, which is everything from us, and then spirit, and then angels, fairies. You know what I mean? The higher beings. Aliens come just above us as well, and also just below us, because I believe that there's some nasty ones as well. So.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that they surround us, basically. Aliens are above and below on that chart. And then you've got, obviously, as I say, angels and gods, what people class as gods above. And then you go down, and your demons and your devils and Satan are all down at bottom. Now, I'm only going to use them as a title, because, again, I don't believe that there is such a thing as such, but it's an explanation for them. They're lower beings. They are the lowest of the low. They're the ones that crawl, and you only see them in dark tones. They're not nice things at all. Hi, Guy. Hi, Christine. Christine.
Hi, Christine. Hi, Nicola.
Bloody hell. A voice
you gave me an idea for the next show.
Go on.
Demons.
You going on holiday?
Shut up, you. Demons versus negative energy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think there's good and bad, and this is what I'm saying. This is where I believe the struggle comes from, and I believe that that's where religion comes from. It's believing in something. It's giving you some sort of
Who, Jasmine?
It's giving you some sort of belief to just carry on, basically. And I believe that's where religion came from. Just a belief in something to cling on to.
Definitely.
Because really, it don't do a lot for you. You're doing it for yourself at the end of the day. But if you can grasp something and put something in your head that's giving you positive vibes, I think that's about top and bottom on it for me personally.
Yeah. I mean, I was brought up religiously and I have my religious beliefs, but because I'm in the paranormal field, I don't follow the strict line of religion. I look at the whole picture.
See, I can't. I believe there's something to it, but I don't believe in, God as per se. For me, God's an alien. So,
well,
to me, to be honest, I just think it's parallel universes. I don't believe in any heaven, hell. I just think it's bullshit to get you scared.
Well, where did you come
But
from?
I'm not mocking anybody else's beliefs if that's what people believe in. And I mean, my gran was a believer in the church.
That's an explanation. That's heaven and hell is just a word. For me, it's probably just the best way they could describe it at the time. But there's higher and lower beings. That's the way I'd describe it. There's higher and lower beings.
I mean, I've had this conversation with people recently, and it says in the Bible that God is a celestial being.
Well, there you go.
So he could be an alien.
Yes.
So it's just a higher person than us.
Yeah,
so,
and the interpretation. When they say that God created, well, did the aliens? Yes, we know now. We're learning that they've had an input in our DNA and our breeding. But did they actually create it? Strictly speaking, I suppose they did. But what I think they did is they manipulated and altered its DNA to what we are today. I don't think they actually bred us from scratch. They've just mutated.
Christy says, I have honestly, personally.
Yeah.
And you go up. I've honestly, personally felt Jesus is love in my heart in church twice. I'm not a avid follower or anything, but just cannot believe. I totally get you, Christine, and I'll tell you why. I'm not a believer, right? But it seems to be, excuse me, when I have a death that's pretty close to me, the first thing I want to do is go to church. Now, I'm not a believer in any way or form, and I can't explain to you why I have when a personal death like my gran, for example, right? As everybody knows, I've taken my gran really, really hard. So it's like, I don't believe, but for a while there, I wanted to go and sit in a church, but I can't tell you why I wanted to do that. I just did.
Yeah.
Eric says, think about it this way, what better way to get humans to behave? Listen, we can't behave that bloody much, Eric. Hiya, Karen. Karen says, I think this is hell we live in. Do you know my best pal says that as well, Karen?
Yeah, hell is around us. It's not above and below. Hell is around us. It's the thing with religion is, and what Eric's saying, what better way to get humans to believe? That's why you'll find the Catholic and the Protestant church in about the 1700s. This is where this wrath of God came from. Now, Richard Felix has spoken about it several times, about the fact that the criminal justice system used people's religious beliefs against them to get criminals to behave.
Yeah.
And that's where all this wrath of God comes from. At the end of the day, if you read the Bible as it is, we were given free will, so there's no wrath of God.
Exactly.
It's judgment at the end of the day. You do what you think is right, and you'll be judged for anything you do that's wrong. At the end of the day,
it's a doctrine. At the end of the day, it's a doctrine. It's a form of.
Problem is, so religions have got hold of it and moved it to suit them.
Yes.
So, as long as you don't take it like that, you've got more chance. Look at the whole picture, and it's there's nothing wrong with having faith because, as I said, I was brought up religious. I have my religious beliefs, but mine are not the same as everybody else's.
Well, exactly, and this is the point, Ian. Is faith is faith, exactly. And it's a human complaint that if you're down, if you're struggling, your own brain creates a place of safety, and you go into that place. And if you've got somewhere to actually focus on and say, this is where I go, like church.
Yeah.
But you'll also find just as many today that go to a memorial. They'll go to a sacred place in their mind. It's not necessarily sacred as in holy. It's sacred in their mind. So, for example,
sorry guys, I was having my dinner there.
we've
right,
got a,
right. You know, there's the proof that hell exists. She's just come back. So
yeah.
You cheeky bath. Sarah Louise says Al Pacino said it's best in the end of The Devil's Advocate.
Yeah.
Christian says Jesus didn't write the Bible, man wrote the words and supposedly God's words. This is very, very true, Christine.
Yes,
very true.
Very true.
It's very proof that God wrote all that. This is what I'm saying. Did Jesus actually write anything? No, he didn't. His disciples did.
No. They didn't write the books either. It was somebody else that wrote their books. So,
Chinese
whispers. You're getting a story from somebody else that witnessed it. So it's their interpretation.
Aye, but it's like Chinese whispers. Like, I could tell you, Ian, I've won the lottery, and you go to Brian and say, Lois has won about 60 million in the lottery. I never told you 60 million, but you just decided to add that wee bit in. So then Brian goes to Viv and says, Lois has won 100 million in the lottery. You know, it's Chinese whispers, and before you know it, everybody adds that wee tiny bit in.
The Bible's more believable than that, though.
Listen, see if I won the lottery, I would see you alright. Even though you gave me tons of cheek, I'd still see you were alright.
What? You buy me some iron brew?
I'd buy you, I would buy the iron brew factory and get to you.
Well,
have you seen it? Have you seen Lewis's thing? They're that short.
But no, it's just it's one of the things, isn't it? I suppose it's anything in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
believe. What you remember is the Bible is a very good guidebook. And if you get something good from it, brilliant.
Yeah. Definitely. So moving on, because religion's another one that becomes a full battlefield. Carl says, well, the Bible talks about floods and look at all the flooding. This is very, very true. All the floods that happen in the world. Christine says, exactly, the stories that really did have meaning but somehow got misconstructed. It's just anything in life, Christine.
And you've got to remember as well, it's been translated several times as well. Is it as...
No, but we should stay for a subject. The Knights Templar. That would be a good subject to talk about, the Knights Templar.
They're in Scotland.
Aye, they just stay along the road for me. I pop in from a cup of tea every so often.
Now, it's a funny thing because King Arthur was also in Scotland. So it just makes me laugh that they've been looking all these years for a big castle and there never was one. Because Camelot is actually Gaelic for open and winding, which was the grounds and the river. They've actually worked out exactly where it was.
Yeah, there's 3 places though, isn't there? There's one in Scotland, there's one in Wales, and there's one in Cornwall, Devon area. Yeah,
but the one in Scotland has actually got the stone where the sword was presented from.
Right. I thought that was a later addition because originally Excalibur was thrown into the lake, not the sea, which it shows you on some films. It was thrown into a lake. The lady of the lake was there to receive it, and then she gave it back.
But to get a sword from stone is how a Scottish king was given his title.
Right. So again, all Chinese whispers.
Yep. So you're missing legends.
Leg ends. That's you. Leg ends.
Yeah.
Oh, you hurt my feelings.
To boot.
But I suppose it's like anything when people make up about, obviously, every little town has their myths and legends. Like, can you always remember you used to get your pals telling you that one of maybe the older generation, the neighbours who's very quiet, keeps herself to herself, and used to tell you the story, you go into their garden and they'll kidnap you and eat you and everything. That's basically really what it is. It's Chinese whispers.
That was actually my house back then.
Ah. Tracy says, it's amusing to think that years or hundreds of years ago, travelling from London to Scotland was dangerous, but veering off left to right was murderous.
Yeah.
That's true. Eric says, my family comes from Turnroof, Scotland. Sarah Louise says, if that happened today, they would be done for fly tipping without a shadow of doubt.
Yeah.
But yes, Pareidolia.
Yeah, we've also touched on audio pareidolia, which is another one because as I said, I'm forever listening, watching programs, and they say, "Oh, did you hear that? It said this," and I hear something completely different.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I do. Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot. And as much as I love spirit boxes, and I think they're great, I think a lot of it happens in spirit boxes. Like a lot of people will think.
I actually think that a lot of the interpretation with audio, clairaudient people, again, we keep coming back to it, frequencies.
Yeah.
And the pitch, because we're all here, we're all in a certain tolerance because we're human, and the human hearing is in a box basically, but each one of us hears in slightly higher and slightly lower tones. So it's gonna be, you're gonna get that where somebody's gonna hear something different to you. Now, if you could send it in a different pitch every time, which is a personal thing, like said, I don't know, what's the musical terms in key of D, shall we say? You know, when he's singing. So you Ian, could be in a key of D. Lewis is in a key of C, and I'm in a key of A. Now I'm going to be hearing things, and everything that I pick up on is going to be in that A because that's my area.
Yeah.
And Ian is D. So everything in that D range is Ian's going to pick up on, and you are in between. You know what I mean?
I hear exactly what you mean.
If you could change the tone of it, of a recording, to the tone that you pick up on, maybe we'd hear things the same then. You know what I mean? Because we're not registering. We're not registering the same.
Yeah, trust me, that's not weird, Karen.
Karen says it's weird every time I'm doing meditation, my ears start ringing.
Yeah, well,
it's funny. My ears start ringing when I can sense something around.
Yes,
almost like they're trying to talk to me and I can't hear them.
And with me, the way I'd explain it is, it's almost like picking static up, you know, like air's on back in your neck, but you're hearing it instead.
Yeah.
It's a sense that you get. It's a sixth sense. So yes, I'll get it in combination. I'll get that hair on back of my neck and on my arms, forearms, and then it's in conjunction. I'll start to pick up hear-wise. But again, it's all down to frequency. I'm really, really sensitive underneath high-powered pylons for some reason, and a lot of what they call what people would class as non-sensitives, not psychic, not medium, nothing. They will see a ghost, or more likely to see a ghost under high-powered pylons.
Yeah, because they're giving off.
And they pick up on it. They pick up on it. I'm halfway through a map at country, and 90% of places where people are reporting seeing spirit.
Or under pylons.
They are. They really are. One of the most famous in country is Stocksbridge Bypass. And even police have been parked up at top of bypass under these pylons, and they're seeing monks and all them sorts. And I think it's just that frequency that's messing with human psyche.
But also, it's a bloody good power source for them to get their energy from.
Well, yeah. Well, yes. And I've got that in mind as well, that it could be that. And because I think I've mentioned it before on one of the shows where if you can imagine an infrared camera trap, a wildlife trap, maybe they should be using something similar, but like an high-powered pylon, if you could create something in these forests for Bigfoot, maybe you'd get better results that way.
Yeah.
Because they get
Tesla
seen.
coils. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they get seen. These people get go.
You know, we did Tesla about 2-3 weeks ago. To the grave and back, we did Tesla, and it was amazing the amount of things that are out there nowadays that Tesla thought many moons ago.
Yeah, but don't forget, he didn't know what he was talking about, apparently.
Oh, exactly. No, what it is, well, we know what it is. We know what it is. They didn't want him giving an industry away, basically, where they could make billions of pounds. I mean, if we'd have adopted a lot of what Tesla said, then we'd be getting a lot of things for free.
I don't like to point fingers, but it was Donald Trump's grandfather that stated that most of Tesla's work was non-founded. When it actually,
well, that doesn't surprise me.
Well, it actually turns out that he knew what he was talking about. And all his stuff actually works.
Christy says, my ears do that when spirit is near. I've usually got goosebumps and I also have a brain squeeze too. Eric says, I just call it my spidey sense. Karen says, I can smell spirit when they're near. My hair tingles, if that makes sense. It does. And Eric says, you can create a Faraday cage.
Yeah. Well, that's what a car is, basically. But you see, it's fascinating to hear everybody's comments because that's just literally backing up what we've been saying.
Yeah.
This is a common consensus from people all over the world that there is something in frequencies and it affects the psyche. And I think ley lines do the same, and magnetism does the same as well. Yeah. It has an effect. Crystal. And if we can combine them, if we can find a piece of equipment.
It is really weird, Christine.
Yeah, it is. But if we can use a piece of equipment, if we can create a piece of equipment that combines all these things, then I believe that we would have something to go with. Something, for first time, a proper piece of equipment that's actually doing a job and not mimicking something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Oh, exactly.
And we call it the ghost telephone.
Actually, isn't that a H.G. Wells expression?
Is that not something that Cal Cooper keeps going on about? I'm sure he mentions a telephone experiment.
Oh, yes. Phone calls from the dead, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a film also as well.
It's an interesting topic because phones are one of the most easiest, especially the old analog phones, were one of the easiest to manipulate.
Yeah.
So I've had several experiences with phones.
Yeah, my sisters do. You know when my mother's listening.
You were saying about your mum coming through on the phone.
Yeah, it clicks. Phone clicks at certain points when they say something, and they've even literally wrote something down to try to make sure that they're not imagining it. Because obviously, when you're talking about past loved ones, it's wishful thinking a lot of the time, which is fine, but you want proof, don't you? This is why people go to psychics and mediums. But they've done it. They've actually wrote something down, and they've told each other when they've seen each other, and they know they're going to ring each other every morning. They ring each other every morning, and they've wrote this word down, and they've mentioned it. And as soon as they've mentioned it, phone starts clicking.
Oh.
So it's quite compelling. Again, there's no actual proof that it's my mother, but it's compelling.
Karen says, I'm not too sure about Spirit Talker, Spirit Box, Alex Box, Necrophonics. What is real?
None of them.
I could show you my Spirit Box because I thought it was there because I'm surrounded by stuff charging because I'm on a case tomorrow. Spirit Box. I've actually not got an aerial on mine because the minute I bought it, I took the aerial off, so I do not get any radio interference on mine.
Yeah, exactly.
I would advise anybody else that's got an SB7 take the aerial off.
Yeah, and again, they are. Let's face it, they are.
Oh, Row's gone.
Yeah, and they're there for entertainment purposes at the end of the day. But you can
everything get something else to back it up.
Yes, and you can actually. Don't get me wrong. You can get spirits that'll cotton on, and they will play the game, and they will use the equipment to communicate because it's easier to draw power from a piece of equipment than it is to try and manifest themselves. So yes, I'm aware that it's not the actual app that's working; it's the spirit that's working, and I wish people would differentiate between that.
Yeah.
Because spirits will use these bits of equipment, but it's not the equipment that's doing the job.
No, it's them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christine says, they say if you're sensitive, have signs like just described the ringing as a way to communicate with the spirit, but having the abilities to do it is something else.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if a spirit is talking to you on the wrong frequency, you will get ringing in your ears because you can't hear it. If the spirit is any good at what they're trying to do, you can ask them to lower the frequency, and you might actually be able to hear them.
Yes,
but
and again, this is perfect proof, like Ian says, that it's the spirit in you that's trying to communicate through a piece of equipment, and not the piece of equipment that's doing the job. If you're going to just stand there and listen to every bit of crap that comes out in an app, then you're barking up wrong tree. You can't do that. You've got to connect that piece of equipment with the spirit first. Yeah. And if you're lucky,
that's really interesting to know.
Yeah, if you're lucky to get that connection, then you can use it. There's a guy that we've had on show before called Brian Baker, and he's got a piece of equipment, and he uses that piece of equipment religiously. Now, what he does to get that to work, as I'm sure will admit to, he has to visit a certain place. All the places he does on a regular basis for a while to build up a rapport, to get that piece of equipment to where it needs to be, and to allow that spirit to be able to use that piece of equipment as a medium. Just like we use tarot cards, that's the spirit's tarot deck. Let's put it that way. They will communicate through an app, but it takes some doing. And you've got
maybe that's the secret then, Brian. Maybe that's the secret of paranormal, is rather than jumping from place to place to place to place to place, maybe spending some weeks, spending some months, spending some years going to the same place. Because Brian Baker, I highly recommend people go and check him out. He's in Haunted Homes UK.
Yeah.
He's got a Facebook group. Definitely go and check Brian out. Because the results that he gets, that I've never heard such clear responses, and it is clear, isn't it? It's proper clear.
He visits 2 or 3 times before he gets anything, because you've got to build that rapport up with the spirit for a start, and then allow that spirit to learn how to use that app for your benefit. At the end of the day, it's they're not getting a lot out of it in that respect. It's if they want to play ball, and if they don't, you've swift it. So again, a lot of it is being respectful to spirit and knowing how to talk to spirit rather than provoking them. If you go into a building doing all the wrong things, you are not going to get naff all. The only thing you're going to get is an headache.
Yeah.
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 Oh, aye. Quickly, guys, I just want to point out Wayne's competition. Wayne, last night, he was saying he's just not had the chance to read the winning writing story. But what he did say was last night that the competition is now back open to this Wednesday coming. So if you want to write a story, 500 words, it could be some less, some more. The story's got to be based on him being the main character. Now it could be paranormal, cryptid, ufology, just anything in the supernatural. So if you guys are interested in entering, send it to Wayne. Here goes with his email address, wayneseeding@hotmail.com, I think. If not, just send it to him privately. If you guys are interested in entering, but I'm actually interested in writing a story. And then it says, "Oh hell, missed this, just get back home. It's okay, Nettie. You'll get it and catch up, love."
You've done. Bugger off.
There you're getting thrown out by your bride. But if you guys are interested, definitely in entering. It's definitely. It was because it was for his 10-year anniversary on Spookanori. He'd shoot my boots off if he was in here just now. He probably is secretly watching, cussing me.
Anyway.
And also next Thursday, guys, to the Graven Back is not on. As Zach Clayton is doing a 22-hour marathon for war veterans and suicidal prevention. So definitely, guys, it's for everybody that watches the both shows. If you could go along and just make an appearance, if you were going to watch To the Graven Back, that would really mean a lot. It really, really would mean a lot. So good luck to Zach on his 22-hour marathon.
Good luck. I get a sweat on just watching people run, so no chance.
I know. Do you know what? See all these people that do these sort of marathons, I think to myself, oh, how do you do it?
Yeah, Lois can't even walk, let alone run.
You leave my foot alone. I've only got 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, but
it's depressing me.
Yeah, let's see if you win the Masked Singer first.
Listen, see if I win, I'll share the winnings with
you. Right.
Yeah.
But definitely, but yeah. So what's next week's subject? Are we doing this? Demons versus negative energy, or Ian, have you got a better subject?
What, you versus negative energy? Yeah, well, we can do
that. Cheeky arse. My knees are hurting just mentioning them.
Yeah, me too. Me too, Christy, most definitely.
Last time I had a marathon, they changed it to Snickers.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, and why they changed it, I don't know. It's just the same as like, I just got used to calling that bleach stuff Jif, and they changed it to turning Sif. Sif? What are they?
They've only changed one letter. The F to the C.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, all right, fair enough.
It was a J to a C, not an F to a C.
Right, well, a J to a C then. Sorry, whose mum was I singing happy birthday to last night, and it was hilarious, and I went for pee to meaning it was Nick's mum. I'm sure it's Nick's mum's birthday today. Happy birthday, Mrs. Millie, in case it is. But I sang, and I meant to say M, and then something caught my attention, and I went P, and I went PM, and I went M, and Nick was like laughing because I went from P to M. Lois, you're not punishing them enough in the cellar, they're getting cheeky. You're damn right they're getting cheeky. These boys are getting drawn to bits now.
One pack of ginger nuts since Christmas. Yeah, she's punishing us, trust me.
Yeah, it's redonkulous.
Yeah.
It's rude.
Anyway, get back to
work. But yeah, that'll be a good subject for next week.
Yeah, we'll bash at it, unless we've got a guest, like I've said. But
well, if I have, Nate, I'm sure one of you told me about a guest, or was it, or maybe I don't.
I actually asked you about giving me a date for Annette.
Oh, Nettie, are you free next Friday? Or any Friday after? Because I'm really...
Steady on, Ian. We can see you checking it.
I'm doing a drum roll.
Is that what you're doing?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
right.
See?
Next week, we've got Nettie as a guest, guys.
Hey.
So we've got young Nettie will be joining us next week. Thank God, women power. Yay.
So she won't be late to miss us giving you a load of stick next week. Brilliant.
She'll be here joining us.
Yeah, she's on your side and she ain't.
Christine's like, that's brilliant. So next week we will have Nettie. So what's your guys' plans at the weekend?
I'm investigating a house for a family that have all sorts of activity. So that should be fun.
I am out driving while I can.
You'll be away driving round the country.
It'd be coming down to Hastings just for a drive.
Yes, I'll be giving it this through the window.
Yes.
Look at my Jaguar.
Don't forget your cigar.
Yeah.
I'll start calling you Boise.
Boise.
But actually, I'll talk to you if you're not going to fly off.
No, I'll still be on after for a bit to talk to you guys.
Right, because there may be a journey up your end coming.
Oh, awesome!
I'd be careful going up your end, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he never come back. Nate says I'll stick a bit of turkey on. Oh, Bri, you're in with a shot for our Nettie.
Right, I might be doing a detour via Manchester then.
Christine says, hope I'm not in work or working all my love. I'll be thinking of you.
Right. Oh, well, you just have to have a longer break.
That's it. Or just put in some annual leave or phone in sick.
Yeah.
Just be like...
Our shows are worth taking time off for.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, that's what you expect from a demon, temptation.
Yeah. We're walnut whips and ginger nuts.
You're very welcome, my love. Very, very welcome. But it sounds all fun. So there's next week, guys. So definitely I would love for you to tune in on Tuesday as well for something spooky, because we're talking about mental health on Tuesday, so that'll be a really good show to definitely kind of ties in with us as well. Well, when we did the Jerry Down, we picked out the old mental health, and I was like, oh yay, I like that one. Something that's really close to my heart, definitely.
Well, if there's room, send me link, whatever, I'll join you. It's good. Well, it's a subject close to my heart, that one. So
yeah,
because I'm a nutter.
We're on that snoring way. But definitely, but tune in, guys, definitely, and we will see you soon and have a good weekend.
Yeah.
See you all soon.